Hey guys, it's Fox here, and today we are working with a Lagoona blue doll, and we're going to be turning her into a mermaid. Woohoo! Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I was on vacation for a very long time, and so I missed out on doing mermay. That was all over Instagram and Tumblr and all that stuff, so I wanted to do a kind of late mermaid. Yeah. So right now I'm using some soft pastels and I'm adding contour. My main points of contour right now are her cheekbones and around her eyes. So my concept for this particular mermaid is a long time ago I had heard legends that said that mermaids were the souls of women who were tied up and drowned at the ocean. So I kind of wanted to make a mermaid about that and have her look all undead and kind of creepy, but still like retain all of the beauty that a mermaid has. So this will definitely be interesting. And now I'm going in with my watercolored pencils. I'm starting off with a pink instead of going straight into white because I decided to not give her any irises and also make her eyelashes white. So I thought it would be a little bit of contrast to kind of make the inside, the whites of her eyes, more of an off-white color. So I've sprayed her down with Mr. Super Clear, and we're starting on our next layer. This layer is finally where I'll put in the whites of her eyes. Again, I'm hoping that with the layer of the pink and the white, it'll still be enough of a contrast where it won't blend too much in with her white eyelashes when I add those later. I'm also going to be adding whites, blues, and purples to her lips. I kind of wanted to give them a sort of frostbitten feel, but I don't know if it quite came across that way. That was the intent. So hopefully it kind of has that vibe to it. My first thought for her eyelashes would be that the best contrast would be doing them through acrylic paint. I cannot use acrylic paint worth crap. It always ends up super patchy and way thicker than I mean it to be. So, I tried, but I ended up just wiping it all off using the acetone and restarting with her eyes because it just didn't look the way that I wanted it to. I will practice some more with acrylics in the future, but right now it is not working out. So I actually ended up wetting down one of my watercolor pencils and just using that. And that ended up being, I think, a good enough contrast. Not as bright as I would have liked, but it turned out pretty nice, I'd say. So that's how it looks. The circles around her eyes ended up being darker because the acetone just like decided that she needed super, super dark circles. So. And since she is a mermaid that has been drowned at sea, I decided that we needed to add some more nautical things to her. So I'm really, really trying hard to get these barnacles to stick on her face using 2-part epoxy clay, and it just doesn't want to stick. So off camera, I added all my barnacles on, and I also added a few little details like a starfish and some plants on her shoulders and her elbow. For details, I'm just using a regular sewing needle, and I'm just adding in the little holes and little lines on the barnacles just to make them look a little more realistic. I'll also be adding in some, I guess, pores onto the starfish on her cheek. Just for realism, woohoo! Once my clay has all dried, I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint it. As it turns out, I'm kind of rearranging my room right now, and all of my paints are lost in the chaos, so I took some white acrylic paint and just added different colors of soft pastel shavings in it, and that actually ended up working out really well. I'm using a kind of off-white on the barnacles. I ended up going over with a yellow pastel to give it more of a worn look, and they ended up looking very, very, very yellow in the pictures. It's not as yellow in real life, but you'll see what I mean whenever we go into the reveal photos, but it's a little, it's not as yellow in real life, that's all I can say. I thought it would be nice to make the starfish on her face a kind of orange color. I thought that would be good contrast against the blue hues. My next step is to color this anchor more realistic gray colors. So I work at a daycare, and one of the toys that we have is a little old play ship, and I was like, I can't sculpt an anchor for the life of me, it's just not working out, and luckily that ship had an anchor that I could take. I disinfected it, and it was totally fine. So we're gonna just color that a gray color, and then later we'll be adding in some barnacles and some rust on it to make it more realistic. So now that everything's dry, I'm adding in some mica pigment. This is a kind of bronzy color. I'm using that to be rust. Also, I don't think it's harmful, so I just stuck it on my finger instead of a brush. Hopefully I don't die or my fingers don't fall off. But I'm also going to be taking some white acrylic paint, putting it on the back of a paintbrush, and just dotting on some barnacles. And finally, now that everything is all squared away, it's time to tie up her tail and add on the anchor. So here's my mermaid. I really hope that you liked her. Unfortunately, I'm landlocked, so I couldn't get a good ocean picture of her. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and all that other good stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye!